Oh my gosh.
Well,
Somebody's recording us. It's China.
It's your mom's vagina.
Oh my gosh. Does anyone have any good memes?
I do.
Oh, damn. You literally write out jokes for every week.
I try really hard.
It's I just do the shit on the fly.
I want an opening hook for our show so that people are like, wow, maybe these guys aren't idiots. And then they get to the regular meat and potatoes and they're fooled. But they're already it.
Why would you comment that one cause within a day? Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time. Blech.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast. I am one of three hosts, Jacob, joined by my co-hosts, Colin and Spencer.
What's up?
So, usually on this show, we
Stop! I'm listening.
I want to see what it is.
Oh.
I was in the midst of saying we are professionals on this show, but Spencer is trying to grab the phone from Colin's hands.
And I'm like, no, what are you doing? Stop!
So while we're being children, on a level from Jabba the Hutt at 0 to Padme at 10, where does Shakti fall on the hotness meter?
Oh, are we talking animated or live action?
I mean, I didn't set any standards for Padme, so...
Fair. 6?
Wow.
6.5?
Oh,
Colin's horny.
like give it maybe like a 7 or 8.
That's what I was thinking was a 7. It kind of depends on the variation.
Yeah. I don't know, like, yeah, I give it an 8.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of fan art, so we aren't the only ones. But also, we don't go into the cringe factor of it.
Sure.
Yeah. Ugh.
Who doesn't like a good alien booty?
True. Very true.
I'm sorry, did you say alien booby?
Booty.
I was actually in a porta potty the other day, and somebody had started a scoreboard that was like ass, thighs, breasts, feet, eyes. And people had been marking what they like. So that was pretty entertaining.
Oh my goodness.
Those don't last long for where I work, because like I see them for 2 days and then people scribble all over it. Come on.
The government is censoring their speech.
Pretty much. Yep. And like every time I see, like, it always starts with tits or ass, and then I write feet immediately after.
Of course you do.
Because I think it's funny, and then I write put 20 tally marks to start on it, just so people will be like, "What the fuck?"
I do it because it's funny. It's ironic. Sure.
You're the one that's into feet.
Wow, really?
Yeah, buddy.
What evidence do you have of this?
Your feet are touching mine.
They're literally not.
You have no proof.
I have evidence of it. You were the only one that carried the joke for our first 10 episodes of the show.
That is actually that is fair. That is fair. It's not accurate, but I did do that because I thought it was funny.
Oh, because it was
funny.
Ironic and funny. Oh, funny man thinks feet jokes are funny, and that's all.
I mean, they are funny. Shall we jump into the news?
Feet first.
Sure.
Fucking hell.
So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 has been officially retitled, or titled properly, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Cool.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Cock and ball.
That is exciting. From DCComics.com, The origin of Batman and his never-ending fight against crime in Gotham City is modern mythology, but what about the story in between? How did an angry, damaged young man grow into the most accomplished detective and crime fighter the world has ever known? How did The Dark Knight begin? Chip Zdarsky of Daredevil and Carmine Di Giandomenico of The Flash explore Bruce Wayne's journey to become Batman in this definitive new series. Batman: The Night #1 goes on sale January 2022, and that is Batman: The Knight.
I feel like this puts me off.
Why?
I don't really want this, and I think it's because Gotham put a sour taste in my mouth.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
And I know there are some very good parts about Gotham. I'll definitely say that. But for me, at least with Bruce Wayne and just how he was in that whole show, and just seeing Bruce Wayne grow up and just seeing Gotham before Batman,
So
I just don't like it.
the only thing I have against that is that Gotham is like days after his parents were shot, sort of. And this sounds like it's going to be a couple of years, like in his teenage years, maybe.
This is his
So,
traveling years,
yeah.
which we haven't seen a whole lot of.
Which would be kind of cool, but I think I like that when it's implemented into like a Batman show and it's used as like I like it being very vague.
It was handled well in Batman Begins because you have it for what, 20 minutes total?
Yeah,
It was handled very.
It was one specific organization and it was plot relevant.
I also thought it was handled pretty well in BTAS
yes.
because it was vague, and BTAS is usually very vague, but like that was the fun part about Batman. Made it very like it just added to the mythos of just being.
You use
vague.
your imagination to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, and I like that.
I do agree. I am interested in this because I think the team is good. I'm curious, obviously, but like on the one hand, it almost it depends on whether this was DC saying we want a series about this and we'll find a creative team, or if the creative team pitched this to DC. Because if the creative team pitched it, I want it. If creatives have something they want to do, but if DC said, we're so strapped in the timeline for where to shove more content, let's use this gap period before he was Batman, and then they just found people to do it, that's a bit more disappointing.
Yep.
Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run is god tier. So
Absolutely.
that is the glimmer of hope in this news article.
The Knight.
From DCComics.com, readers can take a deep dive into the backstory of the world's greatest peace enthusiast in the special one-shot from the legendary Garth Ennis.
That's supposed to be Garth. There's a typo.
From the legendary Garth Ennis Preacher The Boys, with art by Gary Brown, DC Horror presents The Conjuring, The Lover. Long before joining Task Force X, Christopher Smith, codename Peacemaker, meets with a psychiatrist, a woman dangerously obsessed with his bizarre and violent past, from his tragic childhood to his military service overseas to his multiple missions with special forces. Smith has more than his share of skeletons in the closet, but who's actually analyzing whom? And will this trip down memory lane result in yet more fatalities? Peacemaker, Disturbing the Peace goes on sale January 2022.
Okay.
Cool. We get a show, we get a new comic series. Cool.
It is, on the one hand, kind of annoying when a publisher wants to cash in on a character becoming more popular because of an adaptation. But it's also nice that they're cashing in on a character that not a lot of people know about because they got popular in one medium, so then they make more.
So now people can be like, oh, I like this character. I can start here because it's new.
Right.
Because people are always so like, where do I start? Like when I like finally awoke into like Vision being one of my favorite Marvel characters, it's like, where the fuck do I start? And I just started at Tom King's run.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think it's always important that we have like kids books essentially, or like, you know, the stuff that we don't really see it anymore, but like you could like buy it in like a grocery store.
Yeah,
like
I remember
little
those. Yeah.
kid-
Oh, I love the Batman ones.
Yeah, like little things for kids, little tie-in pieces, like the tie-in one shots. Half the time they're not great, but they do get a lot of people in the door, and that does count for something.
Yeah.
Jacob, it's from your boy Garth. You got anything to say?
Not really. I was okay with the Peacemaker character in the Suicide Squad, but it wasn't like I didn't feel like I had to run out and read any new comics because of his character. I was just like, all right, he's funny, he's quirky. I get the point. He's good in the movie, but I mean, Garth knows how to handle characters taking justice into their own hands. I'm looking at you, Punisher Max. So who knows?
I think, not to totally diatribe, but I think that's the reason why I kind of don't care about Peacemaker very much. I like the character in the Suicide Squad. I'll watch the series.
Right.
And I would like to see some more of the stuff from the comics, but this is going to sound funny for me because this is the sort of stuff I usually am like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. But there are so many other characters that are hyper patriotic / meaning nationalistic in various different fronts from both publishers. And there are a lot of really good writers who have already done these subjects to death, whether it be Punisher or like basically all of DC's mercenary catalog at one point were all military members, like stuff like that. This is already kind of done. And like, yes, exploring why nationalism blows is cool and good, but like, could we get something else? You know? And these characters typically don't do much more than that. They go into like how abuse works and cycles of violence and stuff, but
I don't really see what makes Peacemaker different from Punisher or Deathstroke or something like that.
I think that it's good that we're getting something else.
oh yeah, it's always good
But,
getting more stuff.
and what I keep hearing every time that we get stuff that we feel like we've seen over and over again, it's probably definitely like that, but it's also not, because let's face the facts. Everything's just the same thing over and over again. And I think it's, even though we have a character that's just like the other character, we have a lot of those, but like they still do different things. They still have different interactions with different characters. Different types of characters.
Absolutely.
It's more like, why are we having this character who's just like this other character? Well, it's because this character reacts to things differently, or this character has these set of characters or this love interest that makes him react differently to certain circumstances that he's put into.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's just more like, at least for me, I need the hook to be obvious.
Right.
I'll eventually get to it. I'll check it out. I want to read everything under the sun. But if I'm going to be invested in it before I even read it, I need to know what this interesting thing is going to be, what a character difference or weird trait or whatever. I need to know that ahead of time, because otherwise, just because I know it'll be good and there will be something, that doesn't mean it doesn't drive me to go read it or watch it. You know, when you just see it's like when you see another adaptation of like an Arthurian legend or whatever, you're like, okay, but what makes this one different? Even if I know it'll be different, I want to know ahead of time because I want to ensure I'm not wasting my time or money. That sort of deal. And I'm just kind of tired.
Yeah, understandable.
From Marvel.com, this January, legendary creators Ron Mars and Ron Lim will make their grand return to the mythos they helped define with an all-new story set during their classic run on Silver Surfer. A 5-issue limited series, Silver Surfer Rebirth, will follow in the tradition of current hit titles such as X-Men Legends and Symbiote Spider-Man, which sees the greatest creators in Marvel Comics history revisit their historic runs for fresh insights and revelatory adventures. Throughout the 90s, Mars and Lim shaped Marvel's cosmic landscape with epic tales involving Silver Surfer, Thanos, and the Infinity Gems. Now the writer-artist duo are back to deliver everything that fans loved about their original works and more. Someone has stolen the reality gem, an object that allows the user to fulfill any wish no matter the consequences. But whoever has taken it is doing things like bringing back the dead hero Captain Marvel, It's up to Silver Surfer to team up with the least likely of allies, Thanos, to find the gem and restore reality to its proper form. Turns out you can go home again, Mars said. Silver Surfer with Ron Lim was literally my first job in comics. The first comic page I ever wrote was drawn by Ron when we were both kids. And now, 3 decades later, we get to go back there and slip right back into the same groove. It's so great to be wielding the power cosmic again. I am so thrilled to be penciling Silver Surfer Rebirth, Lim said. When Darren Shan, our editor, asked if I'd be interested in working on this with Ron Mars, I jumped at the chance. It is fantastic to be working with Ron again. It has been quite a while since we worked together, but it feels like hardly a day has passed. I'm having a blast getting to draw many of my favorite characters from our run. The story is full of surprises, familiar characters, and crazy cosmic action. I can't wait for the readers to check out the book. Hope they enjoyed as much as I enjoyed drawing it. Jacob, did you just turn your light off?
Yeah, you did. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I did.
Okay. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what?
You guys were being spooky, so I thought I'd be spooky too.
Yeah, you can see my eyes, my glasses.
That's oof. Anyways, I like the Silver Surfer. I would like to read this. Cosmic stuff is fun.
Never read Silver Surfer, but I agree cosmic stuff is fun. I actually was really let down as a comic noob when I watched the Fantastic Four sequel because I was excited to see what a Silver Surfer was.
Oh boy.
I knew enough that I knew that was a bad version.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly great.
No comment.
Amazing. That's so insightful. That is the end of the news. So our main topic for this week is Dark Knight's Metal, Dark Knight's Rising, which is the collected edition that collects all of the issues about the Dark Knight's Rising.
Do you want to go issue by issue?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
We can make it snappy.
Colin, elaborate on your cringe.
Because this whole book is just the origin of Batman becoming the Justice League, but dark.
Yes.
Including Booba.
Yes.
Bryce Wayne, who becomes the Aqua Woman Bat.
Isn't that Jacob's favorite?
I called that last week that Colin was going to love Booba.
Oh, I love Booba. I always love Booba.
To make it interesting, so we don't go into each one in depth, to make you much happy, how about leave least favorite, explain why, and then favorite, explain why?
Okay.
Because it is basically just a compilation of all the origins in one book.
So write down how many are there. My phone's about to die. Can you just write down how many there are?
Hold on.
7. So you have the Batman Who Laughs. You have the Red Death. You have the Drowned, the Dawnbreaker, the Murder Machine, the Merciless, and the Devastator.
Okay.
So I'll actually, Spencer, you can go and then I'll go.
Okay. So my least favorite out of these is the Drowned, actually. I thought it had the most amount of potential, I suppose. It felt like there could have been the whole story could have been written out. There's so many things that were different in such a strange world, and it's such a short amount of time spent with it. So it's kind of disappointing in that aspect. It just kind of felt pretty meh. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. Although, yeah, Booba, moist Booba at that.
Yep.
Colin, what was your least favorite?
Oh, so we're going to go like that. Okay, so my least favorite was probably Batman, the Red Death.
What?
Whoa.
Probably.
What?
Um,
Sir, explain yourself.
It might be. So I just don't like Batman being like that. It's just very much not like Batman to me. He's such a little... He's a bitch. Batman's a bitch. He's like, yeah, he's at the end, Flash's like, this isn't gonna work. We're both gonna die. And he's like, yeah, I know. And he just kills, pretty much doesn't care. And he assumes that they're both going to die, and he just allows it just because. I get it. The 4 his boys, they died, but also that's just stupid. It just seems stupid to me. I feel like it could have been done better in like his motive or like how he was with the Flash or something. I don't know.
That's actually my favorite outside of the Batman Who Laughs. That one, it would be kind of cheating to call that my favorite because it's the one that's given way more time. But I actually really like the Red Death. So you're weird.
I didn't. Or you know what? I'll bump it up. I'll give it like number 6 instead of 7.
Then what's your new number 7?
Okay, my new number 7 is the he becomes cyborg.
Damn, Colin's just got all the bad takes today.
That's not true.
Yep.
The cyborg one.
2-1. You're voted out.
Shut
The door's over there.
It's my house. Get the fuck out. Because way too much fucking dialogue not needed. Son, how can I help? Son, how can I help? Son, how can I help? Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, age 12.
I think Colin read the wrong book.
How can I help? It was just so fucking stupid. It was annoying. I was just so fucking annoyed the whole time. I'm like, this artwork is all right. It's good. It's proportioned. It's correct. But it's not fascinating to me. And it's just the story. It's not that it's not cool that Batman becomes this like cyborg man, but like it's just how it was shown to me. I just did not enjoy.
Fine. Jacob, what is your least favorite Dark Knight, Batman, Bat?
It's kind of tied between 2. I can't really decide, so I'm gonna name both. The book starts out with 4 bangers, and then hits a rough patch after that with 2 back-to-back issues: the Merciless and the Devastator. So the Merciless is set in Wonder Woman's perspective, and that Batman witnesses Wonder Woman's death, and apparently they were lovers. She had moved on from freaking Chris Pine, and
Wonder Bat shipping is the correct shipping,
which is fine. I don't really care either way on that one. But Batman wears Ares' magical helmet and becomes War Incarnate or something. There's a lot of talk, and it's boring.
That one.
I'm starting to sound like Colin, but it's just a lot of war is bad talk, and Batman becomes war.
I can definitely agree with that. I thought the idea was cool.
Okay, so the funny thing is, so the ones that he's saying that are like bad, I totally forgot about them.
Wow.
Because like I skimmed them because I thought they were that bad, so I totally forgot.
Damn, bro.
So I actually do have to reevaluate my whole list.
And then the Devastator, Batman and Superman are fighting, and as Spencer's prone to point out in his next breath, there are nods towards that movie. Because there's a kryptonite sphere.
I don't know.
There's nods to that movie in a lot of these.
Yes.
Batman turns into Doomsday and becomes a dumb rock monster that can barely talk, and then it kind of just ends. There's no story really. They were fighting. Batman changes into a monster to gain the upper hand, kills Superman and his family, and that's it.
Nice. That's fair. I would definitely agree that those 2 were the most boring.
So I'm just gonna like do my list. I'm just gonna say my list.
What are we doing, a top 5 ranking video now?
Yeah, we're just
again.
Watch Mojo.
We're just gonna.
We're trying again because we failed at Star Wars.
You know what?
True.
Here's my list. So mine from least favorite to
don't name your favorite. Don't name your favorite.
So it
Save
goes
that for our section.
For what section? Oh,
for
okay.
when Spencer and I talk about it.
Okay, so mine goes. Mine goes Devastator, the Merciless, the Drowned. I mean, I liked Booba, but The Drowned, The Murder Machine.
So the robot beat out Booba.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just because the concept I like better.
Dang.
I'm not that much of a simp.
What if Batman, but the internet?
Yeah. The Red Death. And then I'll leave it there
Wow.
until we
Yes.
go to favorites.
Damn, bro. Excluding the Batman Who Laughs because,
You're dumb.
dude, a
comment. It was just a comment. You literally don't need to interact with it.
I think it's an unfair comparison. Dawnbreaker. What if Batman but Green Lantern, but Yellow Lantern, but Black Lantern, but green? I like Batman going fucking berserk.
I liked that a lot,
But
actually.
So all of these are kind of edgy. Kind of is an understatement. They're all
that's
edgy
the
as
point.
shit.
That's the point.
And there's just something about the way that this Batman was trying to do something good, but he knew the entire time he was doing something horrible, and he just kept going. He just kept doubling down. The constructs are really freaking cool. They're disgusting and terrifying. And it I don't know. It's cool as hell. I really like it. I also really like the Green Lantern mythos, so that probably factors into it.
For sure.
Colin, what's your favorite?
The Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah.
That one's my favorite.
Jacob?
I was gonna say Dawnbreaker, besides Batman Who Laughs.
Damn.
Yeah. But I really want to dig into the others because the Red Death is amazing. But I think Colin had a really good point too. It seems weird that Batman as the Flash wants the world to revolve around him. He's trying to bring Gotham into Central City. And Colin said that could be done better. And I argue that it was because it was done in Dawnbreaker. Batman as Green Lantern is like, fine, if I can't have it, nobody can. And he just ruins everything and absorbs it all into darkness and makes his hellhole everybody's hellhole.
So Dawnbreaker makes sense. You know why it makes sense for him to be like that? Because that's a child.
True.
That's a child. Where in Red Death or whatever, he's the full fucking adult.
I guess that makes sense.
And this is a child. It's like how Superman but evil, and that's what's it called? That Superman, that movie that was basically Superman but evil, but as a child. I can't remember what it was.
Brightburn.
Brightburn. Yeah. So basically that's how this usually works.
Yeah.
Is just have a child that's not being disciplined and that doesn't have a good who isn't listening to his father figures or mother figures, or just isn't being taught correctly, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how you get evil versions of superheroes.
Yes.
It's the easiest way, but it makes the most sense in this. That's why Batman being like, well, fuck everything then. That's because he's a child.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the artists for each of these issues come from the current run at the time. So like the Flash run artists made this one issue, et cetera, and the different artworks make that apparent. The Flash looks like a Flash comic. The Green Lantern issue looks like a Green Lantern comic. Like they just have their own feels to them.
I do appreciate that about all of them. Even the stories I don't like, all of the art pretty much all around was really good.
Yeah. Even like the Murder Machine looks like it was mostly done with pencil work. It's a lot of gray and just really intense definition and shapes made with just pencil lines.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. It's just it wasn't really my thing. That's why I just like kind of put it lower, because I also factored in art in my list.
Yeah. So
the Drowned with its many seascapes uses so many colors, and it looks like paintings basically of seascapes and oceans and waves and stuff. And it's so colorful and really nice texture to the waves. These comics look really, really freaking good.
They do. So then the big boy, the head honcho, the Joker, but Batman, but Joker.
That's my favorite art style. That was my favorite art of the entire book.
I'm actually disappointed that artist he doesn't do anything else with this event or the character ever again that I can tell. I think because that's what that universe looks like. So when you pull the character out, he looks different. He's been mostly interpreted by Greg Capullo and Jacques, basically since he got pulled into Earth Zero. But I did really like that. It was like it was a bit cartoony. It was a little silly. And then it's like, yes, decapitations and gas and neck snapping.
Yeah, that was sick. It didn't feel silly to me because it felt like, so say you watched Paranorman or you watched Coraline.
Yeah.
Those aren't silly.
True.
They're almost
but they're childlike. They have a perspective based on different things. They're paying more attention to like faces.
I wouldn't say that they're childlike. They are just more how do I say it? Because it's like how you would be scared of things as a child.
Yeah.
So I guess childlike.
Yeah, it's
I guess
not childish, but childlike.
Without a better word to use, childlike.
Yeah, it's like the teeth are really big and the eyes are really sunken and like everything's pointy and stabby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super colorful.
So the Joker that gets killed in the first couple pages of that issue looks like how the Joker looks in Batman Beyond Return of the Joker.
Love it.
That's
one of my favorite Jokers.
Very nice. I also, so something that was kind of weird, it's not from this book, but that concept of Joker having Joker gas inside of him carried over into main continuity, which is kind of weird.
It did?
It did later. It's not really that relevant. It's relevant for one story and then they never bring it up again. But
I was wondering about that when I reread it. I was like, didn't this happen somewhere else?
It's addressed in the Batman Who Laughs, which is the story that's set between metal and death metal. And I thought it was interesting there. But like, anyways, it's kind of cool. Like it's the ultimate edgelord Batman fanboy. What if he was bad? He's guns. He's the Joker. But like, it's cool as shit.
Yeah, no. Sometimes the edgiest like ideas actually are the better ideas.
And I honestly thought some of the emotional beats were done really well when it came to like his final turn on all of his children. That actually caught me by surprise a little bit.
I was actually really annoyed with some of the panels because they didn't line up. Yes.
When Batman shoots all of his Bat kids, it looks a little weird.
No, what I'm saying is, so say right after the training and then Nightwing says we need to talk as a family, how they're all lined up in the next shot. It's not that it looks weird, but like how it jumped that quickly. And then once we go to the next page, we see Jason Todd's on top of a broken robot.
So it's just kind of inconsistent.
It was just inconsistent placement of the characters, which that annoys me, but like whatever.
Yeah.
Fantastic art. I need to find the artist.
The individual costumes I thought were kind of nice. They felt very like, I would say the closest thing I can think of to this in terms of art and the color would be the second half of BTAS. Fucking whatever the hell.
Adventures of Batman.
Thank you. I hate the fact that they're retitled the show. That's actually the half of the show I like more.
That was the second time they retitled it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to like just put a thing in here. I'm watching BTAS, right? And halfway through, we have a new version of the title screen, and it's The Adventures of Batman and Robin. So so they've done that before, and I didn't realize
it wasn't like the official show name. That was just because he now had Robin, so they changed the title. Like
no, that's
publication name.
That's not what it was. The reason is because Robin was in it more often now.
That's what I'm saying.
You're saying now he has Robin when he had Robin before.
Whatever. But like, the official show got retitled, even though we now still refer to it as just all BTAS.
And so does HBO Max.
Yeah, it's all under.
It's all BTAS.
Yeah, because it is.
Because there's no reason to call it anything else.
It just, they rebooted the art style a little bit, and I happen to prefer the second type. But anyways, that's the closest thing I can think of in terms of like color brightness and like shapes.
Really? You prefer the second half?
Yes. I appreciate the earlier stuff for what it was, but honestly, it's fucking stiff as shit. Everything looks like mud, and I hate it.
That's so funny. That's so funny because like for a while I was like, oh, the second half's so good, and then now I'm rewatching the whole beginning half, and I'm like, I think I prefer this mud. I think I prefer the mud.
Sometimes I like it. I love the black paper, the architecture, all that stuff is wonderful. It's just some of the character designs are so shit.
Like Batgirl.
Batgirl was kind of fine. It obviously got a lot better.
I don't like Robin's suit.
First Scarecrow.
Yeah, but
honestly,
then they redid
first
it.
Robin. I don't like the original Batman suit.
Whoa.
I know.
All right.
Even though we love Mask of the Phantasm here, because of course we do, it never feels cohesive. Some of it's really some of the episodes got darker, like the stuff with Clayface was great. Like they're really good episodes, but the art style is kind of inconsistent, and the architecture and the backgrounds don't always match how the characters appear.
Yeah.
Versus in the second half, it is a lot less complex. It's definitely put a little bit less work
everything
into it,
has more of like a defines, like this is like it's more coherent.
It doesn't have that thing with anime that I'd say that drives me crazy, where the background is one fucking panel they never change, and then they just move the people around. That bugs me. That's what BTAS did a lot of.
I like that stuff. That's the funny part.
Sometimes, like the overhead shots where it's like the 3D rendered city, and then they like
so just to boil it down, because we are now we are going way too far. But Jacob, you can whoever's editing
the New Adventures of Batman and Robin is the closest thing animation style to this comic, and I like that. It feels intentionally evocative of that.
I really liked at the end of the Batman Who Laughs issue that Joker translates what's happening in the story to a card game. I want to say it's emotional, but it's not. It just makes things more personal. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
It makes things more personal.
Yeah, it's also a Killing Joke homage, and that's nice.
At first, I thought he was using tarot cards, because those are I think he was using tarot cards, but he was translating it to the card game.
Yeah, it's like the framing device of all these stories, and I really like that because it makes this book still feel like it has a narrative.
Yeah, those are tarot cards for sure.
Yeah, those are tarot cards.
And I want those.
And it's also it's another detail that's different is he's using tarot cards where the Joker usually just uses playing cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's like the Joker, but even more spooky.
But uber spook.
Also, he's got pointy head.
The last issue is about Bobo. Right?
Monkey.
That's his name.
Monkey.
I like how it starts with the title card for the issue with Barbados, the freaking Batman demon, giving a pig squeal.
Love it.
But the story for this kind of didn't make sense, or it was placed weird.
It has nothing to do with this book at all. It's part of the it's like the linchpin for the entire overall story narrative. It's arguably the most important issue.
It should have been thrown in with the regular Metal book.
Yeah, because that also has Batman Lost and Hawkman Found in it, which those two are also immensely important. So it is kind of odd.
Yes.
But Monkey, it's nice.
They also have the some of the 7 bat fakes changing in this, so I guess that's why they threw it in with this book. Like the Red Death turns into the anti-Flash basically, and then dies, which is typical of Flash. I was laughing at that today.
Death. You get it? Because his name is Red Death. And claims to be pro-life, dies.
Good book.
It is. I think it works surprisingly well collectively, even if you're only reading these. So, Star Wars Visions. We are now on the 4th animated short, The Village Bride. Colin.
Yeah.
What do you think about this episode?
I actually think it was pretty good.
Yes!
I think it's good because it translates how other people in other parts of the galaxy, like their relationship to the Force and how it affects their world. I think that was a really good take on it. And a lot of people I talk to don't seem to really like The Bride, but I think those people that watch it are the same people that watch Star Wars for lightsaber fights or watch it for the Force being used to attack rather than the deeper meaning or deeper relationship of the Force to other inhabitants of worlds. And I really liked how we got a really nice Jedi where they stayed out of whatever there was until they were truly needed. Because for the most part, you should let other people deal with their other problems until they fully really cannot deal with it and they do need help.
Interventionism is not based.
Don't be a white knight.
Yeah, don't do that.
Also, lightsaber, fucking badass.
Oh yeah.
I love katana lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fucking cool shit. And it was a yellow lightsaber too. That was badass.
I'm horny.
Same.
On the note of sword, real quick, I started reading the Ronin spin-off book.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It does confirm that his lightsaber is broken in the on position, and that's why he has a scabbard, which makes no scientific sense, but I do not care. Anyway, just wanted
Star Wars is not supposed to make scientific sense.
I just wanted to confirm that detail. Anyways, Jacob, did you like The Village Bride?
This one is quite different. It's, I don't want to say offbeat because it doesn't have that off sense of humor, but it is not afraid to take its time. It's got a slow pace to begin with. For most of the episode, it barely feels Star Warsy. It feels more just general mysticism with, getting in tune with the planet and whatever, and a foreign wedding ritual. The only time that it was like, oh yeah, this is Star Wars is at the end when the bad guy shows up and there's droids everywhere and, they fight. But it was interesting. It wasn't bad for anime.
I think
it's much better than the last two episodes we've been forced to watch.
Yes. So when you say it didn't feel like Star Wars until we got lightsaber fight and droids and a bad guy, I was
saying it was subtle.
No, I know, but those were your words. Your words were it didn't feel like at first it didn't feel like Star Wars until then.
No, that's not what I said. I said it barely felt like Star Wars.
Okay.
Most of the episode, it barely feels Star Warsy.
And I feel like that is... I don't know where my point was going with that. So
I don't know where...
there was a point, it's just I don't know where it is anymore.
I wasn't saying it wasn't Star Wars.
No, I know. I think what I was trying to get to is like for most people that's what Star Wars is, and I'm glad that we're getting more stuff that's like not like always a lightsaber fight.
Right. No, I can appreciate that. Not everything has to be Rogue One, boots on the ground battlefront Star Wars. There's a lot of religious and political, and it's a whole universe to explore.
Mm-hmm.
With its own set mythology.
Yeah. So this honestly kind of rivals the first episode for me. It's very close. Different vibe. Very different vibe.
No, I know it's not the vibe that rivals, but
so basically what both of you guys said, but more. I am
something but more or more but.
Yes. So something I actually do appreciate about the sequel trilogy. In many of its faults, it did try to expand the view of how the Force works, or more so canonize how most people had interpreted it, as well as even Rogue One worked on that. It had Force-sensitive people. You had Guardians of the Wills, which tied into old Star Wars lore.
Yeah.
You have Maz Kanata, who is Force-sensitive and can do stuff, but she's not. It expands to the fact Luke literally calls the Jedi a religion.
Yeah.
It's not. There are good guys, there are bad guys, and then there are some people who can just kind of do stuff. The Force is, as they say all the time, it's everything. it was originally George Lucas was influenced primarily from Buddhism and Hinduism, but like there's lots of elements of stuff in there from like Zen culture as well. And
I was going to say, you have Shintoism in there too.
Yep. And like, I'm really glad they're finally expanding on that because it's gotten very,
dogmatic
in that aspect. Yes. Not just in canon, but like how the fan base interacts with it. They're going, why is this person more powerful than this person with less training? Like the force is not always equally available to everyone, but it does.
The force does what
everyone.
The force does.
Exactly.
The force does what it wants to do.
And that shouldn't be used as a story crutch, obviously. But like the force is so much more than we ever talk about. And it's really, really cool. I want the backstory for this episode. I want a spin-off book. I want to know what the hell happened.
I want a comic.
That would also work. That'd be fine.
I want more comics rather than books.
Fair.
I want the first episode as a manga.
Yes! Holy shit! I want the first episode as a manga, like black and white, because that's where it fits.
Because when Jacob and I talked about it, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's getting a spin-off book," and he's like, "What? Wait, you mean a spin-off manga?" And I was like, "No, a novel." And he got disappointed.
Yeah, I got so disappointed that it was novels are cool, but like
so far
it's literally anime. Why not we get a manga?
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess that's my next project in next 20 years.
Oh my gosh. So the musical scoring I thought was fucking amazing in this episode. It's so potent and so out of the usual soundscapes we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
John Williams is king. Yeah. But like, it's nice to have something a little bit more expanded. That still has a couple of the motifs, but it's more of the vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really nice. Yellow lightsaber makes me happy. That's just across the board. I like yellow lightsabers.
Yeah.
So, that gave me a nice endorphin boost. But like this is what I want. If we're going to have these non-canonical anime thingamajiggies, shorts or whatever, and you're going to have different anime studios from different parts of Japan who all have different cultures and different backgrounds, that should be reflected in what they're making.
For sure.
Just because George Lucas, when he started, made the Force primarily based out of Buddhism and Hinduism, it's expanded since then, and it should continue to expand because it is essentially in like the Star Wars universe. It is a universal religion in that aspect, or at least it should be, because it is the quote unquote thing that's actually real. Like the Force is a thing. The Force does fucking exist. So it should explore how that's interpreted by so many different cultures and turned into kind of its own mini religions around the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is exciting for me. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah!
Star Wars.
Good shit.
Very. Colin,
Yes.
have you been up to anything?
So I have recently been watching a show that has been both ignored and wasn't asked for.
The Zeta Project.
Beware the Batman.
Nice.
I have been watching Beware the Batman, and because I was watching BTAS on loop while I'm building my Batcave.
Uh-huh.
And I then was like, I'm gonna go to the Batman because that's the one I actually grew up with, like in real time. Because BTAS, I grew up with it. It was there. Mainly Batman Beyond I had, and then the Batman was my time. And then when I stopped watching TV, Beware the Batman came around, and I never got to watching that. And I heard not so good things. And I remember growing up, I hated the art style and I hated how it looked and I hated that it wasn't cartoon, it wasn't drawn. But I actually accidentally started enjoying it. It's very strange. It's Batman. He's probably been around for maybe like a year or two or something. It's this Batman he's young and he's arrogant as shit. But we get this Alfred that we get to see some of his flashbacks. We get to see this is Alfred, like, tests Bruce all the time, and he's like his bodyguard. Like, he's not the butler, he's the bodyguard, like how in like Batman Earth 1. Yeah, he's the bodyguard. And we see it's just Batman being Batman and like fighting villains that are new or some that are old. So like, we got Anarchy or Lady Shiva and Ra's al Ghul. And I like the show because it's a different take on things, and I don't like how Alfred looks, but like I ignored that, and I don't like how certain things are, but whatever. Like, I don't like the Batcave. The Batcave's simple, but that's good to have it simple for the show and like how early this Batman is.
I mean, I
in
think
this
it is a
universe.
young 7 show, so it's going to be pretty simple.
Yeah, but like the how they're talking and like the storyline, it's a consecutive story. Like every episode, it's like 2 days after that episode.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's not B-Tast where it's just random stories.
Yeah.
This thing has like a storyline.
It's
it has a plot.
serialized, yeah.
Yeah, it's serialized. And I don't like the Batcave because, I mean, it's all super techie. You know, me with Batman, I don't really like super techie Batman. But what's cool about this Bruce Wayne is that like you see him trying to learn to be a better Batman in certain ways or like be more productive. He's like always wanting to be efficient. And he's like he's almost like autistic.
Wow.
This Bruce Wayne's kind of like, he kind of seems autistic. Like he doesn't understand humans and he's just about the mission. It's not like he's not angsty. That's what I think. That's what I kind of like about him is like, he's not angsty about it. It's just, he's set on this goal.
That is kind of a fair assessment, actually. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but that sounds like what I remember.
And
of course, Colin likes the Batman show that looks like a shitty 2000s 3D CG, almost Gumby looking Batman artwork.
it's because it's not that bad, actually.
It works in motion.
And what I like seeing Bruce with these little interactions with Alfred, and Alfred has this like box that has like smell coming out of it. He's like, "What is this?" And Bruce Wayne's like, "Oh, they're like," he's like, "It's these weird gland thingies that are gonna help me with so I can sleep less. I'm already down to 4 hours. I'm trying to make it so I only have to sleep for 2." And then he's like drinking this juice. He doesn't eat food. He only drinks blended things or juices. He has autism. This Bruce Wayne literally has autism. He has things he can only do. Alfred literally cannot like sway him from doing certain things.
I don't know if that's intentional.
I think it is.
Just to play devil's advocate, because it was kind of made for smaller kids, it might just be for the sake of, because kind of a lot of kids are like that when they're younger. They are really inherently picky with their stuff. Like, I mean, because that is a fellow person with weird brain. That is something that's really difficult. Like when you're younger, is like everyone thinks the young dudes are autistic. Like,
well, yeah,
most people, they're like, it's that 7-year-old. But yeah, they probably all have autism, which isn't true. But there's a lot of those traits that appear a lot more in kids. So if you want to make a show that appeals to kids in that age demographic, that might have just been a byproduct.
I don't think it was.
Okay,
I feel like I feel because any other Batman show that we've gotten, they're never detailed about Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
It's always about Batman being Batman, and this show is very. It doesn't take it's not like it takes itself too seriously, but it's serious about what's going on, and like it's plot. It's trying to stick to its plot.
Bonk.
On Spencer's point, I have this one word: r/kids are fucking stupid.
Yes,
sure,
it's true. It's very true.
Because I don't really think this was specifically marketed for kids, but I mean, like it's not like it wasn't like BTAS.
It's all over the place.
Sure.
How far through the show are you?
I'm like halfway through the season.
Nice.
There are 26 episodes. It aired from 2013 to 2014 for any listeners that wanted details that they don't need to know.
Yeah, it had a really weird airing history.
And in the second season, we're actually supposed to get a team of Metamorpho, female Nightwing, Carrie Kelly, or I could be wrong because it could have been just like Barbara as Robin in this universe, because Barbara Gordon looks a lot like the drawing of the Robin that was like made for season 2. We're supposed to get Man-Bat, but with like utility belt on him, and Cyborg.
Yeah, that definitely happened. Because the show bombed to fucking shit.
That was supposed to happen, but like I wish it happened. Honestly, I would have liked at least a season 2.
Jacob, sir,
Hello.
what you been doing?
So I read a book been kind of going on a theme that you're gonna see in a minute. I read Batman Gotham by Gaslight Noir, written by Brian Augustine and illustrated by Mike Mignola. We're special.
It would be dangerous if some of our like 5 dads get a hold of this show. They're probably gonna get weirded out.
I don't know. I think they might think it's funny.
I mean,
I think it's too late for that. We're already in too deep.
Oh, we're absolutely in too deep. They might find it funny. They might not.
I think they'd find it funny.
Hopefully, because otherwise, our chances of getting interviews.
I mean, I don't think. I feel like from the people that we like, I don't feel like we'd like them if they wouldn't think this is funny.
True.
I honestly feel bad because I have so much Batman stuff to talk about. I really do try to cover more topics.
Dude, it's
and read more
October.
stuff.
It's fine.
Who cares? It's Spookyville.
So anyway, Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, Noir. 112 page, 120 pages maybe. It includes Gotham by Gaslight, where Batman hunts down Jack the Ripper, and also Master of the Future, where some French dude doesn't want Gotham to have fun with a fair, and he tries to burn everybody down. That's pretty much how the writing is for this whole book. It's just simple. It's set in old times. It's just a what if Batman, but in the 1800s. It's fun. I haven't read the original version with actual other colors, but the black and the white, so I don't have anything to compare to. The text boxes fill up a lot of the space. It kind of felt like it took away from Daddy Mike's artwork. But the noir version is very fun to read. It's simple Batman escapades because technology isn't a thing. And he's just kicking it old school with fists and feet and stuff.
Oh, he said the word.
Say the line, Bart!
Feet. That's really all I have to say about it. It's simple. There's not much to it. It's fun.
Was the noir version done well?
I think so. I don't feel like I missed any details. There might have been one frame or two, not even a whole page, but just like one little block where it was tough to tell who was what. It was like a punching motion or falling motion that it's like I can't really tell what's going on. But for a noir version, it's really, really good. It's not just a shitty filter, black and white filter thrown onto it. It feels like it's just ripped. It's just Mike Mignola's sketchbook, basically.
I like that.
Hot.
I'm sure you do, Colin.
Hot.
So, Spencer, what have you done?
You know what else is really hot? Danny Rand's Fist. So I read Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon, which is a 6-issue miniseries which came out this year. It is written by Larry Hama, who is one of the original creators, and penciled by David Watcher. So this was supposed to be like we've been seeing a lot of this, honestly, from both publishers, a lot of returning to old runs with the original creative team for like another escapade or whatever. Basically dragons, because each of the heavenly cities have a dragon. The dragons are getting killed. And that's bad.
Oh,
their hearts are getting ripped out. Not good. Hence, Heart of the Dragon. You get it? You get it? You got it.
Your heart dragon. I get it.
He said the thing.
You said the thing.
Yep. So then Danny Boy and his friendos have to go fix it. It is connected to the Living Weapon miniseries, which I talked about a while ago, which I really did enjoy. It has very little connective tissue. There's one character that connects, which is important. It's very golden/silver age feeling. This is every character, every individual issue restates their names and what their mission is. Like, it's very on the nose. It's just like I am, what is it, like Bride of Seven Spiders or whatever. Like there's 6 issues in a miniseries, and each issue where you see these characters that you're not really familiar with, it has a little bubble that has their name.
And it says, Dick Grayson, age 12, first Robin,
basically.
bitch boy.
And to be honest, I kind of enjoyed that. It's a big old romp. There's a lot of characters in here. So you have Luke Cage, obviously. So you have Danny Rand, Luke Cage, Pei, who is a kid that Danny's been taking care of for a while. She has a pet dragon. You get Okoye from Wakanda in here, who, to be honest, felt really out of place. And a bunch of other characters from the other heavenly cities. The art was really colorful. It was very pointed. They fight the undead, like armies of basically zombies, which was kind of cool. The villain was dog shit, as was the villain's underling, who is connected to the Living Weapon series. The villains were lame. Taskmaster was in it for about 5 minutes, which was cool until he doesn't do anything else and isn't relevant again. That was obnoxious. Like I said, the dialogue was really clunky, and I am doing this. Why are you here, Danny Rand, the Iron Fist of Kunlun? Like it. Sometimes that's cool. Sometimes it's obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
And then Okoye is really important to this story, and it ends with Danny Rand giving up the Iron Fist, which can't just be given back to him. So he got it from Xiao Lao, the Undying, and then he can give it away to anybody else. But it can't. It's not. He can get it again, but it has to be given to somebody else to give back to him. Like you can't play an Uno reverse.
No
card.
backsies.
Yeah, exactly.
No backsies.
Yeah, there's no takebacks. So he gives it to Okoye because she gets like a bajillion powers and becomes like, she goes power level 9,000, which is cool. It was just odd. And it felt like the creator wanted to address the long-standing criticism. I think, I'm speculating, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but it felt like almost like the original writer wanted to be like, hey, we recognize that the ultimate master of martial arts in the Marvel universe is a white dude, and that's kind of weird. Like, it didn't feel like that was the whole book by any means, but it felt like it was something he wanted to acknowledge. It's not because it's a problem or it's something that needs to be fixed, but it was something to be like lampshaded, I guess, which I thought was interesting, but it wasn't really explored in depth. So the book ends with Danny Rand just being Danny Rand, who's hella good at kung fu, but no magical powers. So it like resets the status quo, kinda. I don't know. There's an ongoing run right now, so I don't know how this ties into that, where it takes place or whatever. So I want to look into that. It was fine. It started off really cool, and by the end, it was like, why is that? What? Wait, what? Where does that come from? What? You know, kind of weird. Colon. You got anything else?
We're going to second round.
Yeah, because we only had one TV show. God. Do we have to pull a question out of our butts?
Yeah, dude.
Jacob, you got any good questions for Colon Man?
Colin.
Besides.
I don't know. Besides your top two, I guess, Mike Mignola and whoever the obvious one that I'm forgetting, who are some other artists that you just love everything or most things that they put out? Like, you know, besides your obvious top 2 or 3.
So besides
what are a couple other artists?
So besides Mike Mignola, Andrew Macklin, and Daniel Johnson Warren.
Daniel Warren Johnson.
It's Warren Johnson Daniel, actually.
I'm gonna get him to come over here and pull some wrestling moves on your ass.
Hey man,
Prove it.
Don't do it. I'll actually be scared. So some of my favorite artists that I found on Instagram are actually Crom. Hold on, let me try to say his name. Christian Ortiz. I actually bought merch from him, so I just bought like a hoodie because I really liked how it looked. It's got like it's kind of like a deck of cards, like how a card and a deck of cards would look with the characters on top and the bottom. and it's just two skeletons with swords and shields and crowns on them. And he does a lot of these really cool black and white and sometimes with colors, but his colors are very strange and very, I don't know, they're just strange. But he does a lot of these cool black and white skulls and skeletons, and sometimes he does stuff from Dark Souls, or he did a Berserk mural, and he just has a lot of really cool stuff like that. And then I also like, so I'm just going to give two more. Betty Zhang, I hope I'm saying her name right. She has these fantastic paintings that she does, and she's on Twitter and she's on Instagram, but she's got these fantastic paintings. And how I found her was through Instagram, and she did two paintings of Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne and as Batman. And they weren't exactly, it wasn't the same Batman as in the Batman. It was kind of like her own take, I guess, but it was just the cowl. And there is like a lot of browns and kind of like a lot of browns and tan colors she uses, and I really liked those. And she paints digitally, but it's phenomenal. And then my last one will be Ghost of Crows. This person doesn't really do much. Doesn't like make comics or doesn't do giant murals. She kind of does like those, makes a bunch of drawings and then puts them together for like a sticker packet. They're very grotesque and kind of like think about the body parts that you think can be the scariest. And
PP.
No, like hands and like torsos and like hips, like stuff like that. She just makes things feel very uncomfortable about the human body, and I enjoy that. So there you have it. Ghost of Crows, Betty Zhang, and Crom.
Amazing.
Very nice job.
Thank you, my good sir.
Nice shiznit. Jacob, you watch or like read, and like when you watch and you have thoughts?
I did.
Thank
For
you,
my
sir.
second personal topic, I watched parts 1 and 2 of The Long Halloween.
Oh, I'm on part 1
Part-
right now.
Hot.
Part 1 came out June 22nd of this year, 2021, and part 2 came out July 27th. I said at that and waited until both came out so that I could watch them back to back. It stars Jensen Ackles, Josh Duhamel, and Naya Rivera. This was interesting. At first, I didn't like the artwork for it, and I sort of talked with the boys about it in the group chat and said it kind of looks like upgraded Archer, maybe. It's just really hard lines for the characters, but the backgrounds are done really, really well. The backgrounds look not painted, but like a lot of detail, but they're solid. And the characters definitely look like a different art type that moves over the background. And it doesn't really blend well together in my eyes. But besides that, it stuck really close to the source material, which I appreciate. And it also kind of clarified some things. We recently, I can't English. We recently reviewed the book almost a year ago now. Dang. And I was still confused about who did what, when, and where. The timeline is kind of shifty.
Yeah, the movie tweaks it just enough so everything makes sense, and it also is a different twist.
Yeah, and I like it. But it also kind of kept the same twist. So
it expands upon the twist that was there and kind of focuses it.
Yeah. So it kind of blames Two-Face for having control and gaining more and more control of freaking what's his face, Harvey Dent, and I think that's what they were trying to say started it, or it was a red herring to trick you into it, and it was his wife the whole time. I don't know. It's still a question in my mind because the book definitely made you wonder if it was him or his wife doing the killings, or if it was a mix of both. It's not clear, but it's done well. Are
you going to spoil Colin? I know what it is. I'm just asking because I don't know if he gives a shit or not. He probably doesn't give a shit.
I kind of care with this one because I've read it, so I do kind of care.
All right, I'll stop there. That's as far as I was going anyway. Really, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't understand what they're trying to say.
Twist.
Sort of.
So you've only watched the first one?
No, I watched both, but between the book and the movie definitely goes further than the book.
Okay.
But I still wonder if Harvey Dent had his hand in some of the killings, or if, whatever.
I don't think it was direct. I think it's implied strongly that it was partially because of some of his actions and his behaviors.
Yeah.
But I won't get past that.
I don't know how I feel about Jensen Ackles as Batman.
That is fair.
Because
that kind of took me out.
I grew up with him as Jason Todd, Red Hood.
Yes.
So, and I loved him as that. But him to be Batman, I don't dislike it and I don't want it, but I'm like,
it's fine.
Huh.
Right. I don't mind it. It didn't make me go, whoa, that is not Batman.
I thought the Joker was done really well. I don't remember who.
Yeah.
Let me look up the voice actor for that.
It kind of sounded like Mark Hamill.
A little bit, but it didn't feel like it was trying to be an impression.
No, it's just kind of like
those shitty TikToks that were actually on YouTube that you sent earlier this week.
Yes. Kind of like, no, that's a guy doing a meme. That's a guy doing his Mark Hamill.
Aggressively trying to be Mark Hamill.
Oh, that's the point. It's supposed to be like a cracked, that's the point. Those are supposed to be, when boomers post, ooh, woo, I'm the Joker because I'm a lone wolf. That bullshit. Every middle-aged divorced
sort of,
dad.
but I've avoided them. But anyway, this version has...
Oh, it was Troy Baker again. Really?
Didn't he do the Joker?
Yeah, he's done the Joker before.
Batman Origins?
Yes. But it wasn't he didn't do the same voice for that either. It was close because that one was supposed to be basically doing a Mark Hamill, but like younger or whatever. This one wasn't like that. I like it. Anyways,
this rendition of the story has Catwoman being involved a lot more than the book. I really like it. Yeah, it really balances out.
It makes her not feel like a plot dressing, kind of like the book did.
She's also bonk.
Yes,
way more involved, and like the end of the story at the very end of the second movie, she was definitely over at Wayne Manor for a pajama party. She's way more involved in the story.
Colin and I are gonna have a pajama party pretty soon.
It was a little clunky, I guess. The second movie opens with Batman under Poison Ivy's power, and then he immediately gets freed from that and falls to Scarecrow. And it's like, he's kind of a shitty Batman in this movie. I don't remember him being that bad at his job in the book.
He was.
I think.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, let's be honest. When has Batman ever been good at being Batman? He's usually getting the shit kicked out of him.
He's usually not good Batman until he's like in the Justice League, which is funny.
True.
And
he's good at fighting aliens.
When I 100%ed Arkham Asylum, just kidding.
Yeah.
I had one more point. The artwork takes the edge off of the artwork in the book.
Yeah.
And I mean that in like, it feels more cartoon and less parody.
Yes, it feels like it can take place in a greater universe because it does.
It doesn't seem like those like you go to the fair and you see people set up shop and
Caricatures.
Yes, thank you. It didn't feel like caricatures. They felt like characters.
Bro, do you not like Joker's piano key teeth? What are you talking about?
I do like that they did add that a little bit into the show.
I kind of do like his piano teeth, but it's more all the Falcones feel the same and look the same.
Yeah.
True. Yeah,
And
you
this
know,
one, they look different.
My brother Tony, you know, you've gobbled your last ghoul.
I actually fucking hate that shit. I hate mob boss shit like that.
It's so funny.
It annoys the shit out of me. They think, and like, I like how we use that in media, but like, I know people in real life who think that's like peak man, and they like want to be that.
There are a lot of Italians who
the skinny ass Italians.
Yeah, there are Italians who do act like that. It is a meme because of The Sopranos mostly, but like a lot of Italians are just like that. It's holy shit. Italians are like the definition of really toxic men.
Yes,
they're all
and we're
greaseballs.
Suddenly racist.
Also true.
I can't be. I have Italian in me, so fuck off.
I'm Italian. You're.
But I'm more Irish, so I can be a dick about it.
So anyway, I liked this version. This is one of the better animated DC movies.
Amazing.
Very good. Spencer, please wrap this up and end it.
Oh, I'll wrap it up.
Please fucking end it.
I will wrap it up in a very warm, glowing lasso. I read the Wonder Woman 80th anniversary special. There's been a lot of anniversaries this year. So this one, like all the other ones, is a compilation of like 6 to 10 anthology stories done by different creative teams about a character. Is Wonder Woman is nice. It felt smaller than some of the other books were, even though they're all literally 100 pages. For some reason, this one just felt kind of small. And it used advertisements for other books and other stories from these characters, but it didn't feel like reading a comic from like the 80s or 90s where they still had ad pages. It just felt kind of cool. Like they were used in the divider section between stories right next to the title page. So you'd have like an ad for like the Nubia, like young adult novel or whatever. And I kind of liked that. It's only been in this one so far. I kind of would like if they would continue that. It felt like a natural way to promote these characters, particularly with a character like Wonder Woman, who has a lot of legacy characters that are getting a lot of the spotlight now. So that was kind of cool. The story I liked the most was one written by Tom King, where Wonder Woman basically calls Superman a cop, and Superman's like, I'm actually not a cop. Like, don't be a bitch about it. I'm not. And then he proves it, and it was kind of cool. I don't know. There's some stories that were a little lame. One of them was definitely written for a very short, small child demographic.
So my demographic.
Yes. Okay. Diana accidentally stumbled, like Nubia, you know, her sister is like guarding something, and then Diana stumbles across it, and they talk about, you know, being able to do whatever you want to do and like learn how to have hobbies and not just be an Amazon. And it was like,
can't just be a giant monkey man.
Yeah. That was kind of it's cute. It's like, okay, this is meant for like 6-year-old girls. This is cute, you know, whatever. There was one which was evocative of the Wonder Woman Earth 1 book. I don't know if it was supposed to be connected or not, but I liked it. And then on the whole, this is like a good vibes only book. Just the whole thing was pleasant to read. Some of the stories aren't my cup of tea, but like for the most part, it's just fun. There's a bunch of hot Amazons chilling, drinking tea and swapping war stories and killing monsters. And I liked it.
Nice.
So, you know, what else I also like are patrons, who are also a bunch of hot people.
I was going to say, imagine when we're doing this for 20 more years and you read all of the 100-year specials.
Oh, boy.
Also, there was one time where you said Wonder Woman's legacy, and I thought you were going to say Wonder Woman's legs.
Bonk. She does always have nice legs.
Yes.
Just kind of requirement.
Yeah.
So you know who else is hot? Our patrons. They give us money. That. Well, you're allowed to not find your brother attractive. Good job, Colin.
Yeah, sorry, I don't live in Maine.
Yeah, fair. So big shout out to our patrons, Wesley Eaton, Jeff Lawrence, and Business Casual, our super simp. You keep the lights on. We give you content in return. You get some exclusive clips, some of the weird diatribes we have that, get cut out for the sake of not getting us canceled or whatever. Weird stuff, talking about deep frying balls or last week was a diatribe about boxers. Lots of stuff that gets cut out and just thrown on the internet. If you give us like a single dollar, and you get to hear us talk.
You get to hear us talk about foreskin proposals.
Oh boy.
So anyway, as seen by this week's screenshot, the lights are not on. That is by choice. That is not because our patrons have given up on us. So
no, we have willingly made it spooky because it's spooky time.
Also, it keeps it less hot in this room.
Also true, because there's a lot of hot air and smoke being blown up asses right now.
Yes.
And also a big shout out and thank you to our friends and partners over at Jetpack Comics and Games in Rochester, New Hampshire. They got comics, they got games, they got graphic novels, they got D&D, they got manga, they got video games. They're all cool nerds and stuff. Thanks. So feel free to give them a visit and let them know that we sent you, and then spam our comment section telling us how much you love them.
Pizza
so we can
pie.
tell them that you love them because of us. And then the circle will be complete.
Then you love, and then we love, and then we poop and we fart and
what? No.
that is when you have participated in the Circle Jerk. That is our show.
Yes.
Oh my fucking word. I think I'm Audi 5000 right now.
You're dumb. Feel free to visit our website at dimecomicbros.com. Send us an email if you have anything you want to be discussed, any good jokes, memes, whatever. Send it over to dimecomicbros@gmail.com. Feel free to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know the deal. It's social media. It's social media stuff. Next
Also,
week,
we did not get a comment last week on our episode about opinions on the new theme song. If I do not get a comment by the time we are done covering Dark Knight's Metal, I will shit out the worst theme song our listeners have ever heard, and it will be the theme song for the month of November. So
hey, can we maybe do like a dubstep version? Maybe.
For fuck's sake, no.
Yeah.
Somebody better comment, and it better not be related to anybody on this show.
Yes, Stroke.
Except Wesley. Wesley counts because he's a patron.
Stroke, Colin, and Jacob's egos for their wonderful work on the theme song. We might just keep it forever.
We should keep it forever.
Next week, we're going to talk about Dark Knight's Metal, The Resistance, and that will be the end of Dark Knight's Metal. Metal. Pig squeal.
Metal is scary.
I can't do a pig squeal, I don't think. I can't do pig squeal, but I can do stuff like that. And
oh, come on, dude. Fuck you. Thanks for listening. Not to Colin's farts, because those are going to get cut out because he's a pig.
No!
You're a pig, but you can't pig squeal. Fuck you. Yeah, so to do that then, so we got from bottom to top, Merciless, Devastator, No, wait, I'm dumb. I forgot. Fuck me.
And then
so yummy.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else on this.
No.
Gimme.
Bonk.
Whoa! Oh! Get it away!
Bonk.
Get it away!
Bonk.
Get it away! Jacob, protect me from Booba.
Give me 1 second.
He's got to update his fantasy game.
Okay, one more point. Hang on.
Pee pee poo poo. Oh no, he's saying pee pee poo poo.
But what is pee pee poo poo if not poo poo pee pee persevering?
Shut up.
I still love the fact that Paul Bettany wrote that line. It's really good.
He wrote that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well done.
Oh, my balls hurt.
Well done.
Mine too.
You just,
I need to
You're a
go
dumb
empty my balls, and then I'm gonna go find food.